Should I admit?
No, let them sit.
Okay.
You can go ahead. Yeah, Karan, let's go ahead.
Yep. Hello, everyone. Welcome to virtual press conference of England's men's hockey team. We are joined by England head coach Paul Revington and captain David Ames. How are you feeling, guys? Hello.
I think we've said a few times now that we're really excited. The two venues between Bhubaneswar and here at Rourkela are absolutely magnificent. And the fact that we've got to go through the routine days of preparation, it's now finished, and we're really looking forward to the event.
And Captain, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on the training that you have done so far in Rourkela, and what's the turf feeling like?
Yeah, feeling in the camp's pretty good. It's been a nice few days. Guys have enjoyed playing in a stadium that we don't often get to play in with this magnitude. And this, yeah, we've had a nice few days, a couple of practice games, and looking forward to getting cracking on Friday night.
Fantastic. I'll open the floor to the media. Our first person who raised hand is Neelam from Sports Trumpet. Neelam, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you, Karan. Hello, I'm audible?
Yeah, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Okay.
Hello.
My question to the captain. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to India, sir. My question is to you that how you feel coming in India and what's your preparation is going on. So could you please tell us anything about your preparations?
Yeah, preparation's been good. We've been here just over nearly a week, which is nice. So arrived into Bhubaneswar last Friday, a couple of days at Bhubaneswar just to get into a bit of a routine with our hotel, a bit of training at the pitch, and then flew to here in Rourkela. Had a couple of practice games, some training, and now excited to get going on Friday.
Thank you, Neelam. Next question is from Subhashish. Subhashish, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hi, David.
Hi.
David, my question is to you. England has done pretty well in the Commonwealth Games and in the Pro League as well, where they beat Netherlands. How much do these results mean coming into the World Cup, or do they mean nothing at all? How do you see the recent results in terms of your prospects for the World Cup?
Yeah, listen, they always mean something. International games don't come around too often, and yeah, when you get the chance to have an opportunity to go and play against the top nations, it's always nice to compete and always nice to win. Yeah, we've had some good competition over the last few months, and we've been building nicely into this World Cup, and now it's full steam ahead towards Friday. I think our squad and our guys are in a really good place. And yeah, as I've said, we're now looking forward. It's been a good week, a good couple of weeks of prep, and now we're looking forward to getting started.
Thanks, David.
Our next person who has raised hand is Hardik Agarwal. Sorry, I don't know which media you're from, but Hardik, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, this is Hardik from News 9. So, hi Paul and David. I would like to ask that England haven't won the World Cup yet, but they have been in the last 4 and the last 3 editions. So what would be your strategy to top Pool D, which consists of host India, your neighbor Wales, and Spain, and your chances of moving forward into the tournament?
I would say this might be a horrible cliche as a coach, rather than trying to get ahead of ourselves and thinking beyond the first pool game to try and achieve anything in an event like the World Cup or Olympic Games. You have to keep your eye on the present, and for us the present is game 1 on Friday. It's important for us to to perform well in terms of our game, both offensively and defensively. We're confident, obviously, that if we were able to do that as a group, the performance can lead to a result. A result means 3 points, and that means getting some initial momentum in the tournament. And that's very important for all teams in the competition.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Hardik. Next is Yashodhan Nakhare from Scroll. You can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thanks, Karan. Yeah, so my question is with regard to everyone's talking about the England-India matchup, especially because they are the two highest ranked teams in the pool. But what are your thoughts on Max Caldas' Spain, especially with them being, I think, the youngest squad in the tournament? What are your thoughts?
I'm happy to answer that. I mean, there are two elements to this. One is Max Caldas is a very experienced coach, and therefore, from a respect point of view, I think wherever he goes, he's going to produce a good team. The second part of that answer is Spain is traditionally a very good hockey nation, and whether they inexperienced on paper or they're incredibly experienced on paper, they always have technically very strong players. The combination of Max and that group of players will always be an exciting prospect to watch. So I think it would be silly for England, India, just to focus on that match. Every single game in our pool is very, very important.
Is it okay if I ask another question, Karan?
Sure, please go ahead.
Yeah, coach, so you've got two really exciting young keepers in the team. Could you talk more about James, though, because Ollie Payne has obviously been in the limelight due to his performance at the Olympics, but something about James Mazzarello as well?
I mean, James has done really well at youth level for England and for GB. He's been in the Pro League over the last year in 2022. The games that he's played, he's performed really well. He's trained incredibly well throughout 2022, and really we are very fortunate from an England and GB point of view to have the quality of both those two keepers. We were very pleased for him in Argentina when he got his opportunity to perform, did really well in the 60 minutes, and then did fantastically well in the shootouts as well. But overall, we're very, very lucky to have two outstanding keepers and good people.
Yeah, thanks, coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Yashodhan. Next is Kshitij Ojha from Khelna. Kshitij, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Thank you, Karan. Welcome, coach, and welcome, David. So, my question is regarding Nick Bandurak. I mean, he was exceptional the last time you played against India in the Commonwealth Games. So, what are the expectations from him in terms of drag flicking duties and in defending as well? Because I think he is one of your most lethal drag flickers in the team.
You want to answer, or you want me to answer? I think Nick Bandurak's record over the last year is absolutely exceptional. I think I've read somewhere that it's pretty much a goal a game. His strength is his ability to prepare well. His strength is his groundedness in terms of not getting ahead of the fact that he's scoring. The level of detail that he puts in terms of his preparation is outstanding. And for someone who's come into the international game at such a late stage in his career, it is really credit to him. And I think that will only get stronger as he continues to perform at international level.
Thank you, coach.
Thank you, Kshitij. Neelam and Hardik, I can see your hand, but I'll come back to you. Sorry. Dilip, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, coach.
Hi.
You India thrice last year. It was goal fest each match.
but you're also chasing the match a lot of in all the 3 matches. So what have been the learnings from the matches, and how are you gonna make sure that India don't hit you right at the start when you meet again this time?
Look, I think that wasn't just India in terms of a lesson. I think that's a lesson for our team in general, and it would apply to any team. If you start off slowly or slightly on the back foot against any opponent, especially the quality of a team like India, the danger is you end up chasing the learning aspect. The 2 elements: one, don't start slowly. The second learning aspect was a real positive for us, is that once we started playing our game, once we got momentum, once we really believed in what we are capable of doing, we were absolutely terrific in the phase that we ended up scoring 3-4 goals. So 2 elements: one, don't start slow, and most important is keep backing our game and what we're good at.
Thank you, coach.
Thank you, Dilip. Next is we have Uttara from The Hindu. Uttara, you can unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hi, coach. Hi, David. Hi. I have 2 questions actually. If I can ask them one after the other.
Sure.
Okay. One is a very generic one. How do you see the other 3 teams in the pool, India, Spain, and Wales? How do you assess them for the group stages, not long term or anything? And if you could just answer that.
Thank you.
Yeah, obviously three very strong teams who we've come up against quite a lot over recent years. Wales, obviously, experiencing their first ever World Cup. That brings a lot of positive energy towards them. And Friday night, a bit of a home nation derby with England, Wales. Can get a bit of an excitement for them as well. So that's going to obviously be a very, very tough task for us. But something, obviously both teams are probably very much looking forward to. India is obviously one of the most strongest teams, and I'm sure back themselves, as much as any other nation here, and got a massive crowd behind them, and going to enjoy that experience as well. And then Spain, who obviously over the course of many years, are traditionally very, very good hockey nation, as Paul has mentioned, and we've had a lot of battles in terms of where to finish in European Championships, in World Cups and Olympic Games as well. So obviously bring a lot of strengths. And as Paul said, Max, has a lot of experience within World Cups, bringing the Netherlands to the final 4 years ago in this country. So, has a bit of history there, and obviously going to be expected to do well as well. So, three tough games. We've done our homework over the last number of months on each 3. So, just looking forward to putting our game out there and showcasing what we can do against all 3.
And the second one is about Wales. There are quite a few players there who have played for Great Britain when they play for the Olympics. So they know your game inside out. You know them. How's it going to be with, especially with players like Roper and Shipperley, who have been part of the Britain squad? So how's that? How do you see that?
It's Great Britain is always a unique entity. And this is one of those unique aspects where you have Wales, England, Scotland, all in the same locker room, and then suddenly the 3 locker rooms are separate, playing against each other. The key from a Great Britain point of view is all the players in the locker room have immense respect for one another. And so, Toby Reynolds Cottrell is another member of the Welsh team that's part of our Great Britain, locker room. At the end of the day, we have full respect for everyone in that Welsh team. And it's an international game in a big event like the World Cup. And the fact that we respect every opponent, we'll go out there and give absolutely everything in terms of the performance and hopefully the result.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Uttara. Yashodhan, I'll come back to you. Pritesh, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hi, coach and captain. Welcome to India, first of all.
Hello.
Yeah, and my question is, since as like we had the conversation is going about India, so you guys have played each other quite a time in recent past. So who, according to you, is gonna be the most crucial player for India For example, like Harmanpreet has been scoring penalty corners a lot, and I think last time also he scored against you. So who do you see as the the most crucial factor for India?
I would, even though the obvious one would be the drag flicker, I think the players that end up creating the drag flick opportunities, the creative players, all of them, at the end of the day are important. From a structural point of view, it's important for our team to be prepared well, to understand how India play. I think David's already mentioned that we always do our homework really well from a tactical preparation point of view. We'll be confident that when we enter that game, that we're able to control certain elements of the Indian team. At the end of the day, as you've rightfully mentioned, there are some very good players in the Indian team, and any opponent that plays against them has to be aware of their abilities.
Okay, thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pritesh. Final 3 questions. Coach, please don't mind. Neelam, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, thank you, Karan. I have a question for Coach. Coach, what do you feel about the turf? The European condition, the European condition is extreme different, and Indian condition. So how you different for you now? Could you please tell me?
So, what was the question around the turf?
Yeah.
The turf is absolutely magnificent. Between Bhubaneswar here and Rourkela, the similarity of the 2 pitches is amazing. And it's a real strength to Indian hockey. The fact that they're able to lay these 2 pitches in such great condition. I think all the players that are taking part in the World Cup are very, very lucky to be involved in one in the stadiums, but also on the pitches. They really are playing well.
Thank you, Coach, and all the best.
Thank you very much, Neelam.
Thank you, Neelam. Hardik, you can unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yes. So, Paul, we all know that data is at the forefront of English cricket and even in football in the English Premier League. We would like to know that how prominent is data for English hockey team? Do you use data to assess your opponent and your own team?
From an analysis point of view, I think GB Hockey have been exceptionally strong for many years. We've got some wonderful people working in our analysis department. The amount of data that is collected and then simplified, especially for people like myself who need simple information. We have performance analysts who are really, really strong. Credit to the players as well. They spend a lot of time looking at video footage, not only of themselves, but also their opponents. And therefore, to answer your question, I think without data, without analysis, the sport in general will be a lot weaker.
Thank you, Paul. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hardik. Yashodhan, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. And this is the final question for the press conference.
Yeah, thanks, Karan. So, Coach, and so unlike your football team, your team in general has had a good success with shootouts in the past 2 years, especially considering your record. I think you've lost only 1 and won the last 4 shootouts. What do you think you're doing differently compared to the other teams in preparation for a situation like that?
I would probably say that the football team's done reasonably well over the last few years. Their preparation has been very good. From our side, the success, one starts with the goalkeepers, one who train incredibly well with the goalkeeper coach, Mark Hickman. The training is then also linked to the data and the analysis that we were talking about a moment ago. And then the quality of our shootout takers, also, put in the hours. There's a lot of thought that goes into their routines. And then at the end of the day, under pressure, I think the group have a good history of staying calm and making good decisions under what could be considered high pressure.
Yeah. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Yashodhan. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Captain, for taking time out and having the patience to hear all the questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Really
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.